What is going on, guys? This is the facial hair, and we're going to talk today about the community voting in the Steam Workshop. So, with that topic in mind, let's first discuss what I mean by that. In the Steam Workshop, for the games that have it set up, Steam Workshop is a place for you to get graphical mods, skins, add-ons, new levels, and things for games that are set up to do so. This is very popular with games like CSGO, Gary's Mod, and more recently things like Goat Simulator and WarFrame. So, within that, there's usually an option, and this is most popular in CSGO, where you can, as a community, vote on new skins. Now, the reason this is important and should be talked about is the idea of the emotional and the sort of ethical attachment to this. Now, I don't want to go off on a social justice warrior type thing and think, oh my god, everyone's special. No, it's the fact that people put in a lot of work into these models, especially for games like WarFrame, where they have to have so many layers and so many attributes to these models, as opposed to the skins that are made for CSGO. Not to downplay the skins, but the effort involved in the 3D modeling for games like WarFrame is a little bit more intensive, at least from the work that I've seen. So, with that in mind, you start to think, okay, well, there's obviously a lot of work that went into this, and, you know, I would feel really bad if I put in all this work and no one ever voted for it. But then you think, well, I really don't like this, and I really don't want this skin in the game. But then you think, okay, well, maybe 2 or 3 other people would. So, while yes, you could leave it to those other people to vote, it still then comes into, do you feel bad because you didn't vote and you know the amount of work that went into that? Also, on the other ethical side of it is, how will a company treat it? Say a bunch of fans were to vote up a model and the company just says no. Well, then that sort of completely demolishes the trust between the developers and their ultimately their end user, their players, that they would hold to an idea that they released. So therefore, then the idea of voting for community-driven items basically goes down the tubes. So the other attachment, the other side to this is, well, yes, you know, as users, we want the best overall content for the game, and obviously we would like to see our own content. And while the game is not set up in a way to allow us to inject our own content, unlike Gary's Mod, where you have sort of a balancing for downloadable content. If you join a world that doesn't have that content, then it's automatically downloaded as you're logging into the server. It's the same premise as trying to go to a Minecraft server where there might be a mod pack on the server itself, and that would then that could then possibly override what you're using, depending on how it's set up. So, with that being the case, the question then becomes, do we allow for user interjected content and figure out a way to balance it out? Or do we continue with the idea of the community base and just hope that, you know, they stick to an honor system? Or do we continue to allow them to maybe feel guilty by not voting for something that obviously took a lot of work? Or is all of this even really that good of an idea? So, without going into too much further detail and explanation, let me know in the comments what you think as always, and until next time, this has been The Facial Hair, and I hope you have a wonderful day.